this video we are going to learn how to solve the simultaneous equations using elimination method. Before we start anything, let's understand a few things that we should know before doing these type of questions, simultaneous equations. X, Y or any kind of letter in an equation is known as to be a variable, and any number right next to this variable is known as coefficient. So in this case, if I say it is 2x, the coefficient of x is 2. So you need to know this before we start the simultaneous equations. So let's look at an example here. This is an equation 3x plus y is equals to 10. Let's call this equation number 1. Now the second equation is x plus y is equals to 4. Let's call this equation number 2. What we have to do, we have to make the either we choose x or we can choose y. It's totally up to us that what we want to choose. What we have to do is make the coefficients same of either x or y. Let me explain a bit more. Like for example, if this is 3x, the coefficient of x is 3, we have to make the coefficient of x in the second equation also a 3 if we are choosing x. If we are choosing y, okay, here if you don't see a number, it means that it is 1y. The coefficient of y is 1. Okay, so here we can see in the first equation the coefficient of y is 1, and in the second equation the coefficient of y is also 1. Okay, the coefficients of y are same in both of these equations, so we can choose that we are going to make the y same. So in this case, if the y are same, let's put a line like this right here. Okay, what we are going to try to do is that we can cancel out y and y. But how we are going to do that? If we see here that 1y plus 1y makes it 2y. If we have to cancel out each other, the signs should be the opposite of each other. I would prefer that try to change the signs of the equation that you have written below. And how we can change the sign? If we multiply this equation with -1. -1 makes the sign opposite of every variable or coefficient present in this equation. So let's say if this is plus x, it's going to be minus x now, and if this was plus y, I'm going to cut this out and write minus 1y here, and this was plus 4, I'm going to write minus 4 right here. So what it made possible for me that 1y minus 1y cancels out each other. I can write down the remaining of the equation below. So 3x minus x is 2x. 1y minus 1y, it cancel out each other, so it makes it 0, so I don't need to write a 0 here. Okay, so next equals to 10 minus 4 is 6. So I can solve it. 2x is equals to 6 and x is equals to 3. So this is the value of x for these two equations. Okay, so if I have to now find the value of y, what you can do is take this value 3 and put in any equation you want to. You can either put this equation in equation 1, a value in equation 1, or you can put this value in equation 2. Let's put it in equation 1. So I would write equation 1 here equals to, so 3, the value for x is also 3, plus 1y is equals to 10. So 9 plus 1y is equals to 10. I can take the 9 on the other side, so y is equals to 10 minus 9, which is 1. So the values is x is equals to 3 and y is equals to 1. Let's look at another example of a simultaneous equation. It's a little bit different from the previous one. Okay, so let's see. First equation is 3x minus y is equals to 23. I am going to label this equation number 1. The second equation is 2x plus 3y is equals to 8. I am going to label this equation as equation number 2. So now it's up to us that what, for which variable we are going to make the coefficient same. Either we can choose x, either we can choose y. It's totally up to us. Let's say in this equation I would also make the coefficients of y same. So if we can see here, the in the second equation the coefficient of y is 3. I have to make the coefficient of y 3 in the first equation also. So what I can do is I can multiply the equation number 1 with 3. So this 3 is going to multiply with every 3 is going to multiply with 3x, y and 23. So what I am going to do, I am going to write this equation right here by after multiplying it with 3. This is equation number 1. Okay, so this is 9x, 3 into minus y is minus 3y, and 3 into 23 is 69. This is equation number 1. Now I am going to write the equation number 2. I don't need to change that because it has already has y already has a coefficient of 3. So 2x plus 3y is equals to 8. This is equation number 2. So I'm just going to put a line right here. Okay, so I have to see, now I have to cancel out y. I can only cancel out if in both equations the signs are opposite of each other. So I can see in the first equation it's minus 3y and in the second equation it is plus 3y. So I can easily cut out these two and I don't need to change the signs. Okay, so I could write the remaining of the equation. 9x plus 2x is 11x, minus 3y plus 3y, it cancel out each other, it makes it a 0, so I don't need to write it. Okay, so 69 plus 8 is 77. So I'm going to write 77 here. So now I can just find the value of x, which is 7. Now I can do is I can take this value of 7 and put it right next to, I can choose either 1 or either 2. So let's just put it in equation number 1. So I could write that I'm going to put this value of x in equation number 1. So 3 into 7 minus y is equals to 23. 21 minus y is equals to 23. I'm going to change and flip the sides. I'm going to take 23 on this side and I'm going to take y on the other side. So when I take y on the other side, it makes plus y, and 21 minus 23. So minus 2 is equals to y. So for this question, x is equals to 7 and y is equals to minus 2. Let's do another example. In this example, we can see the coefficients of x in both equations are different and coefficients of y are also different. So we can choose either one, whatever we want to. Okay, so let's label this equation number 1 and let's label this equation number 2. Okay, what I prefer is the easy method is when both the coefficients are same and you are kind of confused that from which number we are going to multiply these equations to get the same coefficient. What I say is, let's say for in this case I'm going to make the coefficients of x same. So what I can do, I can multiply this coefficient with this equation. Like for example, if I can see the coefficient of x in the second equation is 3, I'm going to multiply this coefficient with the equation number 1. So let me label it here that I am going to multiply this equation with 3. Okay, and I am going to multiply this coefficient with the second equation. Okay, so I am going to multiply equation number 2 with 2. Okay, let's multiply and see what equations do we get. So 6x minus 15y is equals to 48. The second equation would be 6x plus 4y is equals to 10. I am going to put a line right here. Okay, now if I see, I got the coefficients of x are same. So this is also, this is 6x, this is also plus 6x, so I cannot cancel out at this stage. So what I am going to do, I am going to multiply this, I am going to flip the sign. What I can do that by multiplying it with -1. -1 only changes the sign of this complete equation. So if this was plus 6x, it would be minus 6x. If this was plus 4y, this is going to be minus 4y, and this is going to be minus 10. So 6x minus 6x can cancel out each other. Okay, so minus 15y minus 4y is minus 19y, and 48 minus 10 is plus 38. Now I would get the value y is equals to minus 2. Now I am going to substitute this value of y in any equation I want to. I can either substitute in equation 1 or I can substitute in equation 2. Let's substitute this equation in equation number 2. So 3x plus 2 into minus 2 is equals to 5. So 3x minus 4 is equals to 5. Now I can take the 4 on the other side. So 5 plus 4 is equals to 9. So 3x is equals to 9 and x is equals to 3. So I have found the values for x. X is 3 and y is equals to minus 2. Okay, now you guys can pause the video and try solve it, give it a go and see how you do it, and after a minute I can solve the question for you and see what the answers are. Okay, I think so far you have attempted the question, so let's solve it together. Okay, so first I'm going to label these equations. This is first equation is equation number 1 and the second equation is equation number 2. Okay, so let's make x same in these equations. So I can completely achieve that by multiplying the second equation with 3. Okay, so let me write down the first equation here. First, 6x plus 3y is equals to 12. This is my first equation, and the second equation would be 6x plus 18y is equal to 42. This is my second equation. Okay, now I'm going to put a line here. I can see that the coefficients of x are same now, but the signs are also same, so I have to flip out the sign. I can do that completely by multiplying it with -1. So now my signs would be, this would be minus, this would also be minus, and this would also be minus. So 6x minus 6x would also cancel out. 3y minus 18y is minus 15y, and 12 minus 42 would be 30. Sorry, minus 30. So minus and minus can cancel out, so y is equals to 2. Now I can substitute this value of y in any of the two equations. Okay, so let's substitute in the second equation. Okay, so 2x plus 6 into 2 is equals to 14. 2x plus 12 is equals to 14. 2x is equals to 2 and x is equals to 1. So x is equals to 1 and y is equals to 2. These are the two